Oh, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Conservative Bird. I am Bird. Yo, before we get into this video, let's make sure you drop a like, drop a share, drop a subscription, and smash that notification. We're going to be getting into liberal hive minds. We can't ignore this anymore. Let's start the tape.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing
That meme is great.
the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I try to be as open-minded as possible. When something happens thousands of miles across the globe, I don't jump to conclusions, I don't jump on a bandwagon and push whatever the approved narrative is. I sit back, I absorb, I try to pay attention, and slowly I formulate my opinions. That's how I've done it my entire life. I'm a very emotional person when it comes to interpersonal relationships, but when it comes to stuff like this, I try to be as emotionless as possible. I'm just trying to pay attention to the facts. I'm trying to understand where people are coming from both sides. I try to be sympathetic where I think it's warranted, and I am using the exact same approach here with the conflict going on in Israel, trying to be open-minded as much as I can. And I have to tell you guys, I find it extremely difficult to show any sympathy, to be sympathetic whatsoever to individuals who act in this manner. The simple fact is, I don't see Israelis acting like this. I don't see Israel supporters cheering on terrorist organizations or
Neither should they.
cheering on horrible atrocities targeting innocent civilians. I know some people are going to mention that yes, there are civilian casualties when it comes to Israeli airstrikes, but I'd argue that's not a fair comparison considering those airstrikes are targeting military targets exclusively. But anyways, let's get back on track here. I find it hard to sympathize with a group of individuals who show such contempt and such disrespect to terrorist hostages. I mean, this clip is an eye-opener at NYU in Manhattan.
I haven't seen this clip yet, so we're watching this for the first time. I haven't even watched this video yet, so we're all watching this together for the first time.
Students were caught ripping down flyers of missing women, children, and elderly individuals in Israel who are currently being held captive as hostages.
Yo, what? How can anybody think that that's right, no matter what's going on?
By Hamas in Gaza. Absolutely horrible behavior. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so apparently this is the side that leftists are now part of. Horrifying. NYU students walking around campus removing posters featuring missing Israelis being held captive in Gaza by Hamas terrorists. The lack of humanity by your students is not only heartbreaking,
This isn't NYU. This is
but extremely concerning. NYU
So
University.
weird.
Here's the clip.
I mean, regardless of what side you're on, wrong is wrong and right is right. And that's wrong if that's what they're doing. I mean, how can you do that with a smile on your face and think you're any better than the people you're criticizing?
Now, as you guys can see from this frame right over here, we're talking about
I thought it was wrong when, if Israel or when Hamas did that to Israel, and if Israel did that to the hospital, that's wrong too. So I just don't get it. Like, why do people think that like doing the wrong thing is justified because you're on the opposite side?
innocent civilians. We're not talking again, as the left seems to always point out, flyers supporting this far-right apartheid Israeli regime, nothing to do with Bibi Netanyahu and the IDF. We're talking about hostages. We're talking about women, children, and elderly people. An 80-year-old Israeli grandfather, as you can see, kidnapped from his home by Hamas. Israeli babies and children. The other flyer is cut off from the frame, but you could
Dude, that is just so crazy. Like, regardless if you like the people or not, that's still wrong is wrong.
tell it's, I guess, a middle-aged woman. There's nothing provocative about these flyers. Most likely they were placed by concerned family members, people who have connections to these missing individuals who want to spread the message out of concern for their loved ones. And a couple of woke NYU students decided that that would be the proper target of their activism.
That's not activism, that's ignorance.
That is horrifying. Legitimately horrifying. We're just talking about basic moral compass here. And I know, people will say it's an isolated incident. Is it? I don't think it's an isolated incident at this point. I think it's pretty much full mask off. There's this girl from I guess we could describe at this point a pro-Hamas protest that we played yesterday.
Colonialist country too.
Everything that they do is justified.
Including what happened last week?
Every single thing they
No, no, you can't say one is wrong and not the other. It doesn't go like that.
Have done is justified.
Individuals who are sympathetic to the Taliban showed up at that same protest
Yeah, those earrings are sweet as fuck,
as
though.
well. There was another incident from a similar protest where a large group was marching down the street in a major city, chanting anti-Semitic calls to violence. I can't play that clip for obvious reasons on YouTube. We saw the whole BLM thing, literally celebrating the paragliders. Young American activists at some of the most prestigious universities celebrating terrorist attacks targeting innocent civilians. Then you have innocent civilians who were
Kids are just not with it at all.
captured, people who are not part of this conflict from a military perspective, horrified
I think them kids might need to be thrown in a room with a white robe on.
families are posting flyers of missing family members. I mean, desperate and hopeless. And here we go again. I mean, the actions speak for themselves now, don't they? You know, it's not a good look. These people are operating as if they have the absolute moral authority on this issue. It doesn't look like it. If anything, these actions that we're observing these days do more to justify the pro-Israeli stance. I think it's time for a real moment of reckoning on liberal college campuses across the Western world. It's time to really look inside and think deeply about what is festering inside these academic institutions. And of course, nothing better to help stimulate that process than facing the possible loss of millions upon millions of dollars. And that's exactly
It's just crazy to me. Like, who would think that this is okay to do? I don't understand it.
what's happening at Harvard, for instance. After 31 student organizations penned a letter essentially again supporting Hamas, the donor fallout at elite universities continues. We've got this article from Fortune. Harvard loses another major donor over its dismal failure to take an unequivocal stance against the barbaric murders of Israelis by Hamas. The Wexner Foundation became the latest donor to pull support from Harvard University over its
I mean, rightfully so. If they want, if they feel like that's wrong on their part, then they should. They have the right to decide to who they want to give money to or not.
response to the Hamas attack on Israel. Now, the number could be incorrect, but I've seen reports as much as $500
I didn't see what Harvard had to say on it.
million in donations being held from major universities across the country. And my thought is good. I don't think it's a free speech issue. Nobody has an issue with people voicing their concerns or opinions on this matter, whether it be opinions about
And listen, whether they support what's right or what's wrong, they have the right to not fund. Don't give their money out if they don't want to.
Hamas, Palestine, or Israel. The issue isn't opinions on foreign policy and history. The issue is what we're seeing with leftists essentially celebrating terrorist attacks. And yes, this is happening. Here's Abir N. Abu Yabis, who's a physician at the Emory Winship Cancer Institute. She wrote, quote, "They got walls, we got gliders, glory to all resistance fighters."
That's crazy.
We got gliders. Leftists and their activist allies are celebrating the paragliders who crossed the Israeli border and massacred innocent civilians at a
Sad, dude. It's really sad.
music festival, who then proceeded to round up individuals and take hostages, people still being held in captivity. And when people have concerns over these innocent civilians who are being held captive, being held
I mean, listen, it's crazy what's going on over there. But, like I say all the time, I'm in America. I worry about things.
hostage.
I worry about things in our country. I can't worry about the rest of the world. I wish them all well, but they can go do what they want. I honestly think we should not be funding any of these foreign wars at all. We need to take care of our people and our people only.
Well,
And if we have the opportunity to help others, then so be it. But our people need to come first.
you know where I'm going with this, right? Again, young leftist activists at universities like NYU tear the posters down. Absolutely horrible, should be condemned unequivocally. Not a free speech
1000%.
issue, not cancel culture. My view is that those students should be expelled by school administration without question
They're not going to, though, because it's in New York.
immediately. Oh, and would you look at that, here's a little last-minute addition to the video. The leftist activist bots have been engaged and mobilized. Like any other leftist trend, one person does it, and the young cultist members simply follow without questioning. It's
which is why they are in a liberal hive mind.
Seems as though tearing down these posters
It's all one big think tank.
has become quite popular across major cities and college campuses. 10 minutes after finishing the initial recording for this video, I'm scrolling on Twitter and multiple videos of the same kind of situations start dropping one after another. The new NPC programming chip has been inserted into these woke bots, and here we are.
I seriously feel like a majority of them are NPCs. It's crazy.
For another 4 instances of the same
Like, they're all just a bunch of...
thing.
kidnapped.
What school do you go to?
Look at the pink hair. Look at it. Look at that pink hair. Wow. We know who you voted for.
What school do you go to? What school do you go to, miss?
Look at these morons. Look at these morons. Dude, I wish one of these people that they were ripping down, one of their family members walked by. And, yeah.
It's outrageous.
Wow. Look at these lunatics. Leftist nut jobs.
That's it. That's pretty much what I got for you guys.
That's it. Wow. These liberals are straight up lunatics. Seriously. This is crazy to me. Like, how? What? Why? What is the purpose? Like, you are in the United States. Some people are missing in another country. Like, how do you have so much hatred in your heart to where, you know, regardless if Palestine and Israel is at war and you're Palestinian or you're Israeli, you should still say, hey, there are innocent people involved in this, you know, that have no business in this war, are just literally casualties, and think that it's all right to just to not make people aware of the situation. But hey, you know, what can you do? You know, not everybody's going to think the same. But on that note, we're going to end it. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me today for a little bit. Make sure to hit that like, hit that share, smash that subscription, hit that notification. Also, make sure to go give Liberal Hive Mind a follow and watch this video on his page as well. Smash a like for him also. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.